The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Partially during our space flight, we landed on an asteroid. Over the course of a few hundred cycles, we had mined out the asteroid, converting its resources into various things that we needed in order to keep 24 dupes alive. We made a lot of automated machines to take, cool, or convert items into other items. We then turned on a machine that would allow us to take a dive into the dreams of one of our dupes. After our first dupe dream in Vintage Story, we came back to Oxygen Not Included. We then used our rockets to go to different asteroids. We went to a water-filled asteroid, a lava-filled asteroid, and we also went to a frozen asteroid to get our final crop. After going back and forth multiple times from the water and lava asteroids, we made our last and final endgame materials. While doing this, we also finished upgrading our main base, and also found both the Temporal Tear opener and the Temporal Tear. After our second dupe dream in Timberborn, we came back to Oxygen Not Included again. We spent a while trying to get enough radiation to use the Temporal Tear opener the wrong way, before ending up using Weaselworts. We spent time digging out more of the second asteroid, before finally using the Temporal Tear opener and sending our first rocket of 4 dupes through the Temporal Tear. After our first rocket of 4 dupes went through the Temporal Tear, they ended up in an unexpected place. They found themselves on a frozen asteroid with new plants, crops, and 3 new critters. We spent time building a self-sustaining base and found out that if ranched correctly, each of the 3 critters fed into the next either by creating food for the next critter or food for the next critter's food source. We then radioed to our original colony to tell them where we ended up so that they could change the destination of the next rocket. Up next, we went back to our original colony to prepare and send a second rocket through the Temporal Tear. Once the next dupes came out of the Temporal Tear, they found themselves on a flooded asteroid. Through many cycles, they made a self-sustaining base and ranched the new crops and some of the new critters that they found. They then radioed back to the original colony to tell them where we ended up so that they could change the destination of the next rocket. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Dispatch. So, in the last stream we did a side story of a superhero dream of one of our duplicates. Today we're going back into the main storyline, where we're going to be going back to our colony of Shady Galactic Acres Paradise, and we're going to send another 3rd rocket through the Temporal Tear. That is going to send us into using the Bionic booster pack, which is going to give us half robotic people, which are going to require, I think, batteries and some new form of oxygen creation. When we're done with that, we're going to go back to our main colony again and send a 4th rocket, the final rocket, through the Temporal Tear, and that's going to lead us into the next video game, which is going to be the final side story. And then when we're done with that side story, which is going to take quite a while, we're going to go into the 4th chapter, which is the final 2 games that I have left to play. So we only have 3 games left. But what I'm going to do right now, as I was saying when we started streaming, is I'm going to update the 2 commands, which one of them tells us what we're doing in the story. And I need to see if this is the command that gives us 2 different messages in chat, because I need to shorten one thing so that it's only one. It is this one, okay. So I need to find some way of shortening this so that it doesn't send 2 messages. I guess I could just take off the last sentence, which is talking about the duplicate dreams. We fixed up most of the ship, leaving our scanners not working, and now we continue traveling while making pit stops with various asteroids. We're now testing the temporal tear. That's probably going to be short enough to only be 1 message, so let's try that again. That is 1 message, so I need to copy this and put it on the automatic event thing. Time-based. Is it part of the time? Is this the schedule? That's probably updated. It is not updated. I have not updated the schedule command for a while. That's updated. Maybe it's the YouTube one? No. I guess somebody used the command recently and it made me remember that things were not updated. So let me try STS and see if that needs to be updated as well. Nope, doesn't need about it. So we did everything already. So we're gonna go back into this one, which is only the spaced out DLC. I forgot how long this takes to load. I should have had it loaded up earlier. Game is loaded. If I remember correctly, I need to go up here and play long enough that the thing behind the rockets loads all the way in. And that should mean that the game is fully calculated for a second. Why do we have aluminum sitting down here? That shouldn't be there. I'm also looking around to see if we need to do anything before going into what we're about to do. Brine. Was I adding brine to this? I think I was. Alright, let's press play. So we can get things being actually done by the duplicants. I'm not really seeing anything that needs to be worked on. I mean, these are overheated and broken. So we could stop this from continuously overheating. We could turn this into steel and then it won't overheat anymore. I'll do the same thing to this one. Then I'll do that eventually. They're not really important things to work on. This is... But it's also getting close to overheating. Or to boiling. I think I might want to just remove that liquid. That suffocating is going to be for the pilot that we sent in the last rocket. They are unfortunately going to die on that planet because we can't get to it. This is where all the pilots end up. Although, where is the other pilot? Oh, did they die after being here for a while? Maybe. Yeah, there. They only have 30 seconds left until they die. I'm tempted to let this igneous rock go into here and heat up this area before it gets sent back out. And I think that is what I'm going to do. I think we have another mechatronics engineer, but we might not. We do still have one. Who is it? Mima, who's on a different planet, so we need somebody that's here to be a mechatronics engineer. Who are our builders? We currently have 3. Willow, Dupe, and Mima, who's on the other planet. Let's make Willow mechatronics engineer. Willow's morale is a 17 now, so they might not be able to make it all the way. And they're only one piece of morale over. And then this should allow the igneous rock that's here to overheat that liquid. Especially if I set it up to being something that this water can't handle. It's already at 125. Oh, that's right, we don't have a lot of people anymore. And everyone's going to be sad for a little bit. While Willow is doing that, we probably should send another rocket out. These should be identical as far as I can tell. They are still getting filled up. This one looks like it's low on oxalate. That has 3 beds. This also has 3 beds, but it's not only going to have 3 duplicates in it. Why are they going inside here? Replacing stuff. And what research are we doing? Radiation rocket. So we're apparently still doing a science research thing. Our puffs. The puffed prince should still be able to make the oxalate from breathing in the air over here. It does, however, say that it's only going to make a puffed egg, which is concerning since we need this to be the other kind of puffs. So we actually shouldn't have the prince over here, we should have one of these puffs in there. I'm gonna relocate 2 of them. I thought it was the puffed prince that had to be relocated in there. Do I still have a rancher? I do. I have 2 dupes named Dupe that are ranchers, so they should be able to move them pretty soon. Two puffs are at least wrangled. Dupe's taking one of them into one of the other rooms. Hopefully they're going to come back for the second one. They are awesome. So this should be... Put everything down because this needs every minute. What need? Oh, food. This should be creating the other eggs, however. It does say that the egg chances are 50-50 for some reason. But these have changed, so they're probably not going to be making them. Anyway. Willow still hasn't done this yet. Hopefully me putting it on a priority of 9 will make other people come over and start placing in the different things for it. We are still trying to sweep up stuff here. Come on. Alright, well, it's coming back out again. I think everything might be already put in. It is, okay. So all they have to do is come down here, actually build the pieces, and then they're done. So I'm gonna disconnect that, and then that should prevent this from letting any out. Which should mean that this just keeps going around. I don't think it's gonna stop. I could be wrong. Where did Willow go? All she had to do was build 4 more pieces, and then it was done. Is that Willow now? Yes, it is. So now everything from the minor volcano and the cobalt volcano should be going into that area and boiling the water faster. I'm gonna raise this to being 130 degrees so that it sends out a lot more. Hopefully that will start to overheat the water down here. Right now it looks like the igneous rock is cooling down more than the water is heating up. What is this at down here already? Not 230. I really want to get this stuff heated up so that we can use the coal generators again. And the ethanol distiller for our food. I don't think we need ethanol. I think we're still full. Yeah, we're not going to empty out of it yet, but I still want it. Anyway, Willow did the buildings. Now we can actually send them out on the rocket. So I think we'll send Hope out next, and then Bold Uranus later on as our final rocket. We of course need a pilot, which is going to be Joshua this time. We're going to send Dupe as the last pilot, and then we need to pick 3 additional people to go with them. So I'm thinking we will choose 3 people that we have named. Which, even though we just got Willow into being a mechatronics engineer, I think I'm going to send Willow out. And then Wubby. Maybe Dotterly? That would be both of our cooks. We would need 2 people to be a cook. But then again, we have 11 million K-cows. So we probably don't have to worry about food for the rest of our playthrough. So let's send Dotterly. I am now going to skill scrub all 3 of them, because they're not going to have the same interests when we get into the next colony. I do still have the skill scrubber. Let's put Otterly in there first, or Dotterly, I mean, in there first. I also want to see how many suits we have. Because I think we are either missing a suit, or we have an extra suit that we don't need. So I'm going to wait until everyone is stuck in here. We should have a missing suit. Meaning we don't have an extra suit. So there should be 3 missing here. This is 20, right? Yeah, there should be 17 suits. So there's another 5 duplicates that are still outside the base and not inside yet. Who are the 5 that are not inside? It's not Slicky. It's not Willow. It's not Dupe. Not Max. Not Cloud Cover. Not Wubby. Not the unnamed dupe Abe. It's not Amy. I think they might all be inside. It's not Jackie or Jugal. The second dupe. Dotterly we already know is inside because they're in the skill scrubber. Not Einsmod. It's not dupe 3 or 4. It's also not 5 or 6. And then Joshua is also inside. So we are missing quite a lot of suits, actually. We need to make 6 suits. What are we making them out of? Cobalt. Four, 5, 6. Let them outside again. Alright, one person is done, which is Dotterly, so let's put Wubby in. I'm doing both of them first because they have the least amount of skill points, so I think they would get done quicker than Willow, who has 17 skill points already used. I don't know if that's how the game works or not. They still have to make 3 more suits from the looks of it. It also doesn't look like everyone leaves the base. But this way we have all the suits we're going to need for the remainder of our game here. Alright, Wubby's also done the skill scrubbing, so let's put Willow in there next, and then they're ready to leave the base. Let's queue up everyone for the second rocket. Whoa, I didn't mean to set destination. Actually, we did one dupe. I don't know why I took them off. Dupe, Einsmod, dupe again, Jugal, Jackie Be Good, Amy from Earth, Abe, Pod Cover, Max, dupe again, and Slicky. That should be everyone, which should be 14 people? I feel like I'm miscounting something wrong here. We're gonna end up having 14 people. Yes. I might actually have made an extra suit that we don't need. No, the suits count for the extra dupe that we have as our pilot. But in here, there should be 14 dupes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. Did Willow finish being in here? No, Willow was doing something else. So while we do this, we're also going to go into Persephone, so we're not just sitting here watching this colony while we wait, what, 2.5 cycles for the other rocket to get to the Temporal Tear. How is this filled? This is filled by the half packet pump. Okay. It looks like for the most part about 5 people leave the base at one time. Where did ceiling collapse? Over here. Where Turner died. Now it still says Turner's name within the dirt. Oh, there's Papa Rasputin. So their bodies stay there, but if you zoom out far enough, you don't see their names. Still don't know what the point of this asteroid is, other than being really close to the Temporal Tear. Hey, there's a Pikachu in chat. One of the only 2 Pokemon that actually says their name. I think the other one's Eevee. Anyway, Willow's done in the skill scrubber, so we can send them out, and then when they go through the Temporal Tear, we'll be starting our final additional colony before ending our oxygen included run. So they're set up to go to the Temporal Tear. Let's make sure that the interior is completed. We don't have a full bin of oxalate, but we also don't use oxalate very quickly. We have all the water we need. We have all the food we're ever going to need. That, if I click on the right thing, has a bunch of pickled meal and spicy tofu. And then this has a full thing of basic rad pills, which we probably could use more of. But we are going to acknowledge the warnings. Or are we? It says it's not fueled, it has limited oxalate or oxidizer. That's not right. We can see that it's fueled. That has 900. That is 900. And this is 900. It's fueled. I don't know why it's saying it's not fueled. Oh, right. It doesn't have enough fuel for a round trip going to the Temporal Tear and back, but we're not coming back. So we acknowledge, we begin the launch sequence, and then the pilot and the crew will be boarded shortly. Looks like Wubby was the first person. This is probably Dotterly. That should be Willow. And then this is Joshua coming afterwards. The pilot was the last one to arrive. And we don't have to make another rocket. So they are off. It will take them roughly... I'm trying to wait for them to finish turning. 5 cycles, because he is not a very good pilot, it seems. He does have full piloting, right? He doesn't. Oh well. He's not going to get all of his skill points, that's fine. Wait, we could bring him back, because they're only in orbit. We could send Dupe out instead, and then Joshua for the final trip. No, we won't. Alright, for the rest of the stream until they get there at cycle 2389 and a half, we're gonna stay over here and I guess just clean up the base? I don't know. Let's see what we get in this pod. We can get hatches over here, or at least crack the eggs. Let's do that, and also crack divergent eggs, I suppose. I don't know where we have... Oh, down here. They didn't have something queued up for being in the fridge, so I queued it up now. Where is that sweetle egg going? Is that going in the cracker? I only wanted grub eggs going in there, not the actual sweetles. Oh right, this is where we have the extra suit for no reason. I think when we're sending the last rocket through Temporal Tear, we will bring these 2 dupes to our main colony, or to our main base on Wadado, so that they can live in the super base rather than this small one. And why is this still full of liquid? That should be getting pumped out immediately, right? Oh wait, no, it's getting cooled down before it goes out. Or warmed up, I guess, because of the spawn. Oh, we don't want it to get too cold, because it might freeze the water and break our spawn like it did once before. Alright, let's tell them to start cleaning up over here. And also build a pump there and a pump here to get those water out. Although it's going to leave a lot of water out here. So I don't know where to put that water for right now. I think I'll deconstruct that. And right here, we'll queue this up for being auto bottle, but also disable this building so that they don't use it. And then they should use the pumps out here to add water into our storage. I'm tempted to use our additional rocket to bring everyone over here. It does seem like we're kind of struggling on food, though. Right now it says we only have enough food for 6 cycles. Alright, I think we're going to switch up Bold Uranus for something different. I think we're going to get rid of the toilet and all the pipes inside. Let's go out of Wadado and cut the water off from here. I'm gonna have to start putting everything on a red alert so it gets done. And then there should be another pipe somewhere on this line that's bringing water out instead of water in. No, it just goes that way, okay. But anyway, with us turning that around, the water should be going downwards now. It is. And that's going into our oil production. So this is emptying. The rocket pipe right there will not until we go inside. And tell them to empty every pipe that's in here. No, doing a decent job. Oh, it wasn't really filled with water. So I can cancel all of that and that top line. And just be focused on that last one at the toilet. And then I'm also going to deconstruct everything else. Except for the power, which I might just bring down here. So let's get rid of... I want to say everything but the party line phone, but we also need to move that. So you know what? Just deconstruct everything that's up here for right now. We'll do this slowly and systematically. I'm gonna line everything at the bottom of this rocket with refrigerators and then one party line phone, and that should give us as much food as we need to bring to our next game. This is preparation for the final chapter. That they can do in the future. What is doing ceiling collapse? Oh, over here. How are they doing on picking things up? They're doing okay. I was thinking about bringing all of the dupes over to here, but then what are we going to do when we send the fourth rocket? Because the moment we send the fourth rocket, we can send a dupe through the teleporter, but then we have to wait, I think, 5 cycles before it's ready to work again. Which is the entire time of the rocket going over to the Temporal Tear. So if we send a person to the teleporter a cycle before sending the rocket out, we could have the teleporter work again before we send them through the Temporal Tear. How close are they, by the way? Because we're at 2387. Still getting to 2389, it seems. They are still picking everything up, which is good. They haven't started deconstructing anything up here, so I'm gonna have to put deconstruct on a red alert. We're also gonna need a storage bin for the oxalate. Doesn't seem to matter though, because they're deconstructing everything very quickly. We are still gonna need a pump to get rid of the carbon dioxide. So I should probably move the pump downwards. So let's deconstruct the pump as well so that we can move it to a different place. Made a mess. Why are they making a mess? Why are you guys acting like you can't get inside the base? Get some bristleberries. Yeah, why did they pee in their suits if they could just get out? That was weird. Why are they still making a mess? It's like they're not allowed to get into the bathroom. We shouldn't be out of water. Oh, we are out of water. Why are we out of water? There's salt water right there. Oh, the pipes down here are broken. They have to get fixed before we have water back in the toilets, so we're gonna keep getting the mess alerts until they fix those 2 pipes. There we go. It's starting to work now. So that should bring the toilets back online. And then people should stop peeing in their suits. There's pee down there. I'm gonna have to do the liquid overlay so I can see where there's stuff that shouldn't be. I think that's it, unless there's somebody who's currently in a suit that has pee in it. There shouldn't be any other liquids on the floor in here. This is already backed up to the point where it's feeding the oxygen again. Once this gets full, all of our water will be going up here rather than being split for the crops. I don't know how that got overheated. Because the water's coming in at 24.5 degrees. So it's cooled down already. It shouldn't be overheating in the pipe. We're gonna keep that on a yellow alert. Let's go back into our rocket. Because we need to keep setting this up for red alert. I also need to get the bleach stone out of here. Because it's just sending more chlorine into the rocket. So if we look at gas, there's a packet. There's 2 packets on it, actually. I think I'm going to deconstruct everything in here and then send the rocket into orbit for a few seconds so that we can vacuum out all the gases, because there's not that many gases in there. Just so I can get rid of the polluted oxygen and the bleach stone at the same time. And we need a place to put bleach stone. Wait, no, bleach stone goes up here. Yes, sweep only. I don't know why it says there isn't a place for bleach stone. We do now have a squeaky puffed egg and a dense puffed egg. I don't know why there's a puffed prince out here. They shouldn't have been able to escape. Maybe the door was open. I don't know. So I guess I can relocate these to over here now. Because we don't need them just dying for no reason. Those pipes just keep breaking. I don't understand why. The last two yellow alerts are for the puffs being moved. But I want to sit here and wait for this pipe to burst again to see what temperature the water's coming out at. Because it shouldn't be bursting unless the water's being heated enough to turn into steam. Except it looks like when I'm staring at it, it doesn't get hot enough to do that. Is it a rising temperature as it's getting used? No, I have no idea why it's doing that. Is somebody gonna come move this puffed? Looks like it got broken. There you go, that should be better. Alright, so in here, we're gonna deconstruct everything, including the control station, so that I can rebuild everything. Okay, that's going to stay there. These two pipes are not. That there, we're gonna put mini gas pump here. Apparently it says it needs a duplicate with a special skill to do that. Oh, we do need to put automation into this. We need gas element sensor here. High pressure gas vent there. Automation between the two. We're gonna need power added in here. I also want to make more space for bins, so let's actually change this again. Go like that instead. With these up here. Cancel that, cancel all this. And that. Duplicate operation required. Well, what kind of duplicate needs to be used? I have no idea. I can't tell. We do need to power it, so this is going to come over here for right now, because I have no idea where the rest of the power is going to go. We're going to put the rocket control station here. Then we have the telephone. the bin for oxalate, which is going to be empty. And then the rest is all the refrigerators that we're going to be stuffing in here. So now we know where we're putting the power outlet fitting. Yeah, let's do it this way. We won't see the wires anyway. Alright. I also want to pick up everything. And then yellow alert all of that. This should mean that as we suck up the oxygen, and once I put these tiles in, all the carbon dioxide and the chlorine should settle into this packet here, which is where the mini gas pump is going to be picking up all the gases from. So of course, carbon dioxide and the chlorine's not going to be able to fit in the same tile, which they just destroyed the chlorine. Nice. Now that shouldn't be getting rid of any gases, but it looks like it is. And then it stopped. I don't know why it was working and then stopped working. Still saying that something doesn't have... Oh no, that's just a yellow alert color being added to it. Okay, anyway, we have the people waiting at the Temporal Tear, so let's send it through. We need to open this. I want to view interior, because I need to make sure I use the same names for our next colony. So I just took a picture of those dupes. Go back to, not research, start map. And we are going to open or enter the Temporal Tear. So now they have just gone through. This rocket or escape pod is going to land on the Siltano planet, where that pilot is also going to die. We're more focused on sweeping up all this stuff, which it seems that nobody is coming to do, even though it's on a red alert. Yeah, why are they not doing that? They're doing the other things that I told them to do instead of doing the stuff that's on the yellow alert. This is also not being heated up quick enough. So I'm gonna make this igneous rock come out even hotter. The duplicate crash landed already. So they're over here somewhere. There they are. I'm gonna try to get them to do this again. How quickly can you do all that? You can't at all. Okay. So if I'm lucky, this should be coming out very hot and should be enough to heat up this area. I'm going to do the same thing with this. Set that to 400 so that we can superheat this area. There's duplicate diet alert. Let's get all of these Pakus and kill them immediately. So they're willing to do the combat commands, but they're not willing to clean out the rocket for some reason. What if I cancel all the cleaning and then re-queue it? Now are they going to go out there and clean it up? They're still not doing it. What if I just put it on the 9? It's doing weird things. There we go. Okay, so they don't do it on a red alert for some reason. We still have carbon dioxide and a little bit of polluted oxygen that we're trying to get rid of. I want to test something. I want to see if this prevents the pipes from emptying. It does not. Let's put that back. Somebody calling from Persephone? No. So somebody is on the phone over here. Somebody was. Okay. The polluted water is finally now increasing. Or did it just decrease a little bit? I'm not sure. This isn't warming up very quickly because of how much water there is compared to the debris. That's dormant. This is also dormant. That'll be ready in 23 cycles. This will be ready in 18 cycles. I might have to just vacuum this up and send it out instead of trying to dump heat into it. I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying to do it this way. If they could finish picking up everything. We picked up 5.5 calories here. Basic rad pills, it looks like they're using them more than they're picking them up, except for that one person that came and picked it up. So now the only other thing to pick up is this pickled meal ration. They only picked up 874 grams. If I cancel sweeping, then re-queue it. Still doesn't tell me who's coming to pick it up. But maybe that'll get more people to come pick it up. Better yet, I could just send a person out. We do still have everyone queued up on this. I'm gonna take everyone off of it. Does mean I'm gonna have to re-queue 13 people to go on here. We have 14 people. We should have 15 suits. Welcome in, Percuss. Have fun lurking. We do still have one more dupe outside. Which would be Amy from Earth. Who I think is picking up the pickled meal. Alright, let's send them into orbit. They have a little bit of food while they vacuum out this entire rocket here. This pump should only work when we're moving. Alright, let's send your destination to somewhere out here and then bring you back so that I can keep getting power from the petroleum. Hopefully this polluted oxygen will lower and then we can kill it. We do have a lot of oxygen in here. You know, I don't think this is worth trying to get that polluted oxygen. I am just going to tell them to come back. We got rid of the carbon dioxide though. So if I go back in here, we're going to set this to being oxygen. That's just going to recycle. Thank you, Percuss. Alright, so this is going to be, I guess, pickled meal? You got a Galarian Darmanitan from your golden ticket. I would have thought that a golden ticket would give you like a legendary Pokemon instead. Alright, this is going to be just pickled meal. This is going to be the non-perishable food, which is Hexalin Fruit, Muckroot, Nutrient Bar, Swamp Chard Heart. And I want to see how else they get filled. So if we go into here and then go down to our kitchen, this should be that second rocket thing, which is empty. This should be pickled meal and spicy tofu. So we're out of spicy tofu apparently. What does this have? Grub fruit. Why is Surf and Turf not being filled? Or mushroom wraps. Because that's filled. This is not the same as this one. Okay. Grab the extra plastic. Okay, we're gonna copy this to here. Because it looks like we filled up on all of that. You know what? We're just gonna go in here and say all edible for all of those. This needs to be oxalate. This is so that they have all the food they could ever need when we come back and send them through the Temporal Tear. And I think we will let them do this when we come back to them. So we're going to save the game. We're going to start our new game with the Bionic Dupes. So let's do a hard save here. We're going to go to the main menu with another save and quit just to make sure. And then we're going to start a new game. Now this isn't going to be the third Temporal Tear Frontier, it's going to be the final. We're going to do survival, spaced out. We're going to do all the DLCs. Spring the DLCs. We're going to turn on Frosty, Bionic, Prehistoric, and the Aquatic. Because the Prehistoric planet pack should be a separate planet, so if I don't want to use it, I just don't choose it. But we will have all of the things unlocked, at least. Oh, didn't mean to go back that far. Story traits, we're going to turn them all off. Trying to think if there's anything that we want on here. Reboot an unsanctioned biogenetic facility. Once activated, duplicates can use it to siphon energy from the printing pod to power on-demand printing of something. Smells a bit like an old ranch. No, we won't use it. World traits. For some reason, the starting asteroid has 0 traits. Did not mean to turn on story traits. I clicked on the wrong... There. So if I switch to this one, just so that we start with the pips. Let's scramble this until we get a good thing. Magma channels, metal rich, alternate pod, metal rich, and alternate pod. Metallic caves and geoactive. I definitely want geoactive. Think about metal rich and geoactive. And I haven't seen both of those in a single seed yet. We've seen geoactive and metal rich. We've seen... Wait, is that the one I wanted? Now I'm forgetting. Subsurface ocean means that we have a lot of water. You know, let's use the website for getting a seed just to make sure I have the things I want. We're going to do spaced out, asteroid style. We're doing folia cluster. We're doing everything enabled on the DLCs. And we're not changing anything about the asteroids. But we definitely want geoactive, we want metal rich. Oh, I do have what I want right here. Maybe we'll add metallic caves to it, so we have a lot of metal. We could do crash satellites for some extra radiation. I'm looking through the other stuff as well. So we have boulders, frozen core. I don't want a frozen core. We have geodes, large glaciers, just gives us extra ice. I don't really care for slime molds. Alright, I like this. Let's search for more seeds. Apparently, it's always going to be the same here, except this big number near the center gets changed slightly. That did not work. So I think I clicked on the wrong button somewhere. No, there we go. I got it to work. Okay, we actually want to change this number to something else. 10,001. 10,001 does not have the same thing. Let's try the next one. 7722. There we go, we have it. So we're gonna start this. This should lead us into picking our dupes, which we are going to name Willow, Dodderly, and Wobby. But these are going to be the Bionic Dupes. So I have to figure out how I want them to be skilled. So I've never used them before. Bionic Dupe there, Bionic Dupe here, and here. And it looks like they come pre-installed with a specific skill. So let's make sure that one of them is a rancher. One of them's probably gonna have to be a mechatronics engineer, which would be operator. And then the next thing that would probably be the most needed is digger. Just so that we can get through the hard stuff quicker. So now we get to go through the bugs that each person has. Since they're bionic, they have bugs instead of debuffs. So our first rancher has decreased husbandry. That makes it harder to do ranching. They don't really need to be good in construction or creativity, so I'm okay with that. Our engineer has decreased cuisine, which affects creating food, and decreased agriculture, which decreases farming. So that's fine. And our digger has decreased athletics. We're not going to do that. But we can have the decreased medicine and science. I'm okay with that. Now it says it starts with the extreme digging booster, which looks like tier 3 mining. So does that mean I could get this engineering booster to be the mechatronics engineer from the start? I don't know, but we're gonna call this the Temporal Tear Final Frontier. We're gonna embark. So I have no idea what the seed's gonna look like. It shouldn't be the same seed that we were previously using. And now is when I change the name. So we have, ironically, 2 guys and 1 girl. So that makes it easy. I don't necessarily know if Dodderly is male or not. But we all know that Willow is a female because we've seen her hair. Wobby, we've seen Wobby's face. And then this one is Dodderly. Alright, and then this looks pretty much like any other starting place with pips. So I have never used the Bionic Dupes before. I need to know what the skills look like. So the ranching booster I guess just gives you either? I don't know. Booster processing 1 gives us an extra booster slot. Digging booster allows us to dig the firm material, so it's probably tier 1 digging. So if I go to Dotterly, Dotterly has this one, which means they don't do digging. And Wobby has the electrical engineering one, which is not the mechatronics engineering booster. Okay. So I'm thinking don't put that booster on, or at least don't change the hat. I can unassign it apparently. And then I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing with the digging one. Because we're gonna need a researching thing. Can I do researching now? I don't think I can right now. I have to get some metal first. So let's just dig over here. Actually, they don't like water. I just remembered that. We got a bunch of battery banks and gear bomb. So I'm gonna guess that we need to get a power system set up. Let's dig all the way into here to try and get some of this metal. We're getting even more battery. And a third set of batteries? Looks like we got enough batteries for 3 duplicants for a little bit. We should probably also do our first prediction of today's stream for our pods. So in the top left corner, is that little blue button going to give us a pair of tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide starting now. I really do want to get in here to remove this, but I think the dupes are going to get hurt if I do that. We do start with the crafting station, fortunately. So let's start making a little research room down here. It also allows us to get some more metal. We're going to make down here our battery area. And then our researching station area as well. That's going to need a 3-block room and then 2 there. Also add the wires. I don't think any of them can research right now until I make the researching thing. Compact discharger converts stored energy from power banks into power for connected buildings. We need a way to make battery banks, or I guess power banks. So let me look up power banks on here and see if we can find things that have power banks. Employment, crafting station, and metal power bank would be down here. Enables fabrication of metal power banks at the crafting station. So we definitely want that as our first research. Oh, anyone can use the original starting research station. Okay. I'm pretty sure that these are temporary power banks. They're not... Wait a minute, I can make them now. What? Oh, those are temporary ones, it looks like. Okay, microchips into the boosters. How do I make microchips? I haven't made them in a long time. Probably the soldering station. Produces advanced electronics and bionic booster. That's not the thing I need. Is it the power control station? Produces microchips. Yeah. So we want that as our next thing. I don't actually think we need this since we start with the crafting station and we're able to make the metal power banks. So let's just send them straight into the supercomputer. But then we need a way to make the research booster. How do we get microchips if we can't research the thing to make microchips? I don't know what to do there. I also don't think that they need to eat, right? They just have a battery thing instead of eating. They do still breathe, so I'm gonna assume that their breathing is just like a dupe. They do have gunk. Is there a way to search by DLCs? Okay, all the Bionic DLC stuff is purple. Let's take a look at all the purple stuff. So down here at the batteries, we have the compact discharger, which turns battery into power we can use. We also have the power bank charger and the eco power bank, along with the microchip factory thing. So it looks like we want one dupe so that we can get the power control station to make microchips. Otherwise, we're stuck not being able to do tier 2 science. Unless I restart our game and have somebody as a researcher. Might have to. Because we need one of these. Does this also mean that they can't do more than tier 2 research? Supercomputer, geographical analysis, geotuner, emulsifier. We also can only have 8 boosters. I definitely think we need to restart and have a person with researching from the start. What else would be useful? Research, digging. I guess construction. Doesn't look like we need the ranching booster for a while, unless that also allows us to ranch critters. I want to know if we can. Can I wrangle them right now? Somebody should have the wrangling booster. Yeah, Willow, who's currently researching. Can I have somebody else do that? Okay, Willow can wrangle, so we can already ranch critters. That will make things a lot easier. So we're going to do digging with tier 1 digging, which would be just the digging booster, not the extreme digging one. We'll do ranching again and the research booster. Exit the main menu. We're not going to save. The seed was 7722. Apparently, it saved it. Oh, we did go one cycle in. Let's delete that so I can use that name. I don't think you can have 2 save games with the same name. DLCs, everything's the same. Story traits, no story traits. So we gotta go all the way over here and change this to 7722. I can click on the right spot. Up. Here we go. Same stuff. Start game. Our prediction is also ready, so when we get into the game, we will do our first prediction. And then in about half hour, we'll start our second one. So back, Bionic, and Bionic. We want, starting from the top, a digger, then a rancher, and then a researcher. So the rancher only has 1 booster to choose from. We just need to make sure they don't have something that decreases them. So it looks like their poor prone thing only affects medicine and science. That's fine. I accidentally chose the wrong thing over here. Wait, no, I didn't. Why did they have the digging booster if I just set them for science? Am I not able to start with the researching booster? It looks like I can. We also don't want this extreme digging booster pack, so I want regular digging. Alright, let me look at something. Hmm. That didn't answer my question at all. That's because I forgot to put Bionic in the search tile. Yeah, it does look like one of our people is gonna have to be a standard dupe. Just so that we can make the, or so we can do the tier 2 science. I guess that's okay. I was trying to do all Bionic Dupes. Maya is new to me. But anyway, third a researcher, we have ranching and digging with the regular digging booster over here. Let's do this again. I think I'm changing the name of this. I'm not sure. Final Temporal Tear Frontier. I think it was the final, earlier it was the Temporal Tear Final Frontier. Alright, and then we have 3 people again. We'll name Maya to being Willow. Chip is going to be Wubby. And then Sanyar is going to be Dotterly. And then, of course, this all looks the same as before, because it is the same. Let's go back down here and make the same stuff. We do start with a skill point, right? No, we don't. Okay, so Willow's not going to be able to do tier 2 researching right away. That should be fine, though. Let's also dig into here so that we can get this Hexalin fruit. And I should probably also auto-wrangle everything. and also do our first prediction. So we have, I think, 30 points in wallpaper, per usual. And it is a building for once. It's a new type of planter box. I actually think I have the teal color already, so that might have been a duplicate. And then for research, we definitely want to get a mess hall started for morale for our one dude. We should probably also dig up into here so that we can get that excellent fruit. And then up here. Over this way to get these. If I go like that, I should be able to climb up this way. And get all of that as well. I'm still going to try doing the rest of this with all Bionic Dupes. But we have one person for researching. And then this is ready for that when we get around to it. Do the Bionic Dupes need to sleep? That's another thing. And another thing I want to check is what do we need for the oxy frames? Dirt and water. We could probably do a little bit of that. Let's deconstruct that. If I make an additional thing, actually, we'll just dig down to here. We'll get a little bit more food. But there's already a vent or geyser here. We didn't make a sink. Or a toilet, I mean. A little bit of pee there. Alright, let's start doing our single dupe required stuff. So if I come up here and make a bedroom and a toilet for them. That might release the water where I don't want it to be. So let's cancel that. Willow got herself stuck. And for right now, we're just gonna go like that? No, we'll get rid of this. We'll dig those two out. So that should allow them to keep coming down there while we block off this. I need to dig out at least those tiles. That's going to be our temporary toilet for our main dupe. Can now take that out. Move this to there and get rid of this one. Another 2 doors here. And then I want to make a full private bedroom. Minimum size of 24 tiles. That's all the way to there. So that's the entire thing. I don't want to dig those out right away. Oh no, all that water's coming out. Better yet, let's do this right there. That should stop the water from leaking. I was hoping to not kill the oxyferns, but it looks like I did anyway. Gunk in the toilets. That's something I wasn't expecting. We do have another blueprint though. So let's look at this. We get some pearl, that's cool. Or we get another dupe with, oh, extreme digging booster. You know what? We're gonna take Sanyar. But we're gonna take her thing away from her. No extreme digging booster for you. We should look at the other people. So this is our digger. Wubby is definitely gonna stay into digging, but I want him to have both packs. And then we can give him the extreme digging hat? Maybe? Sanyar says they have a skill point, but I don't understand that. This is our rancher. Willow doesn't have a skill point yet. Let's look at this again. Yeah, I don't know why it says 1 skill point. Weird. I guess because they have a space available? And why aren't they coming up here anymore? I have to open that or something? Oh, they're doing stuff. Defragmenting. Okay. We need the wash basin from here. These doors are not in the right spot, so they actually have to get moved over. This needs to be canceled and move over one. Is that a microchip? We could have stayed with the original 3. But that does stop us from doing the other research numbers. Tier 3 and further in. Is there anything in here that is purple that we would want to use? Because I'm cool with starting over again. They have this stuff. Not mean to click on that. Mass-produced databanks. That's a remote controller, apparently. That's another type of... what? Oh, we might actually want that stuff. That's the only thing that I see in Tier 3 Science and Fast. Actually, no, this is also Tier 3. No, I'm not seeing anything up here. And the radiation required science. Do we need something in Tier 2 Science right away? That's the gunk extractor that's in toilets. You know what, let's just keep what we have. And I don't think we're gonna have to worry about our one dupe needing food. Oh, did not mean to do that. I meant to open it. Why are you in the water? That was not very smart of them. Alright, I do want to make a spot of just holding water. Oh, we also have Sweetos here. Nice. Oh, and there's a steam vent right there. Here's our crashed satellite for radiation. We got a hydrogen vent over here for power. We could just do hydrogen power. Here's our teleporter already. We might have a very quick DLC playthrough here. If I drop this to the floor here. No, 1, 2. That's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to go one more. We would end up in this area, so let's take everything out of it first. Relocate that pip outside so they're not stuck in the door for forever. And then since we got all of that, let's redo this tub. I guess that's the way to call it. And somebody's gonna get stuck. Or not. Okay. Let's get everybody out of here first. And then we just need to continue going down this. We're going to cancel that, deconstruct those, and I want a ladder going all the way down. Open this up. Put a pitcher pump right there so that we can get the water out, and we can seal this off the floor. Right, in here we want to get the better batteries. So I think for this stream, we're just going to play around with the Bionic Dupes, and then I think afterwards I'll do a little bit of research on what we need for them. They did just eat a metal bank. So I should probably keep track on them. Let's also make these floor tiles so that the pips stop putting plants on them. And then I guess our next research should go into getting the supercomputer. What is that? Robopilot module. Let's go into the supercomputer. What is this? Gear bomb pattern enables fabrication of gear bomb at the apothecary. Okay, that makes sense. We should probably also do this. We'll also need to get into the water seed. Uranium ore power bank. Enables fabrication of uranium ore power banks at the crafting station. So instead of using the uranium ore for research, we could just put it into making power banks. Since we don't really need to get out of tier 2 science at all, except for right here. Right, that's the next step. If I had smart storage, I would have this set to a smart storage thing. I could... make some data banks for them. We don't need the medical one. Could use a dedicated builder bot. We have a digger and we have a we have a rancher. So let's put one person into science. Yeah, let's just do one science data bank, and we'll put Sanyar into the science. So here's our first thing that unlocks the crafting station and the water cooler so we can make a mess hall. Did they just eat something? I don't know what's going on with that. I also do think that I need to deconstruct at least one tile somewhere so that carbon dioxide can move around. We have no bionic dupes here. Don't know what that seed is, but we're gonna take it. And this pip needs to be moved somewhere else. We're about to get more databanks, it seems. Do they all do that at the same time? Where's our fourth bionic? Oh no, it's all three of them. It is all three at one time. Is there something that I can use to speed that up? I don't think it'd be the gunk extractor. Or the lubrication station. I feel like there's a thing for him to sit in that's not necessarily a bed. Is it the gunk extractor? No, it's not. I don't think it's this. That's the power bank charger. We do want to get into this. I have no idea what I'm looking for. I feel like I vaguely remember seeing someone using a thing for them to do this and that sped up them doing it. What do we do with gunk anyway? We can superheat it into petroleum and sulfur. We could freeze it into solid gunk. Or at the apothecary, we could turn it into gear bomb and polluted water. We have the supercomputer, so let's build that. And research. Kind of want to get the gunk extractor, but I think the thing up here was more important. The power bank and power chips. You could power banks at the soldering station. Don't remember where the soldering station is, but we're gonna unlock those. We have the research booster, so let's put... Oh, astronomy booster. Applied science booster. Oh, we can do them. Okay, I didn't notice these over here. I'm guessing the cartridge... Yeah, I didn't say that right. The cartridge-looking ones are at the soldering station, and these more Game Boy-looking ones, the non-rounded top ones, are the crafting station. I'll do that. Willow is ready for skill point, but I don't know what I want to put them in now that we have microchips that I didn't know we were going to have ahead of time. I guess you can cook your own food? I don't know. I was a little worried that only Willow could clean out the toilet, but it does look like the Bionic Dupes can do that as well. We're getting a little bit closer. If we dig this out, we can get carbon dioxide pulling in here. We'll also have a way to get in here and get the extra food from the mealwood. Do we have the better batteries? We do, I never built it. So once they're done doing the research, we're gonna delete this battery and put in the larger one. Alright, we have the power control station. This takes a refined metal, so we need to get the rock crusher at least. The power bank charger also requires refined metal. Let's first deconstruct this battery and place in the jumbo battery. And then we need to find the rock crusher and start that. Alright, now that we have the rock crusher, let's place that over here. Get a couple things of aluminum. Alright, that's not what I want. Let's also start the next research. We'll keep banging them out. I kind of want this just to get rid of the debris, but I don't think that's the most important thing right now. What is this? Large discharger efficiently converts stored energy from power banks into power for connecting buildings. Don't we already have? Converts empty eco banks to fully charge. We did need that power chain bank charger. Soldering station, that's what we need. Let me just make sure we don't need something up here. We do want the critter ranch. I guess both of these. I could just click on that and get that all set up. Or we could start getting into liquids. Do I already have the soldering station unlocked or something? I don't see. Yeah, it's with the supercomputer. Okay. I'm okay with using the gunk station, so let's get the critter ranching so we can get all that stuff set up. And then we might have to move crafting station stuff somewhere else. Oh, I know what the skill points for these are for now. It's for up here. So these have nothing to do with the boosters. So either we could have 50% grinding gears penalty reduction, athletics up, less irritation, or another booster. Well, our rancher is not going to do anything other than ranching. I mean, we could have them in farming as well. But I don't think we'll have them doing anything else other than that. Sonyar's our research. I don't really need another one. We could do another booster processing thing. Or Wubby. I think for right now, I'll just put them all into improved gears. You need a researching hat. You can do this hat. This into aluminum. We need 8, I think, in order to do some of the things that I'm thinking of doing. So one thing we need is a soldering station. Next thing would be this. We also need a power control station, which requires refined metal. Looking at this, that's not what I meant to do. I wanted to click on things and look at it, not change what we're doing. What was the other thing we needed refined metal for? Oh, compact discharger. No, the power bank thing. Oh, we only needed 100 for that. We'll put that there. Alright, let's do one more prediction while we're waiting for the science to get done, and then we're going to take a quick restroom break while we do that. So, in the top left corner, that little blue button, is that going to give us tops, bottoms, another building, or decorations wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide starting now. And we are going to go into our be right back scene. I'm going to leave the game running and on the screen so that you guys can see them doing stuff while we're in the be right back scene. Metal power banks. I'm thinking I might need to make more. Let's make 2 more while we're doing this. Because we now have 0, so let's actually raise that up to 3. We'll try to keep always having 3 power banks until we have the rechargeable ones. Anyway, we're going to go into the bareback scene. I'm going to leave this up on the screen, and then we'll be back in a little bit. Sorry that took so long. It took so long. Prediction's about to be up, so that was almost 10 minutes. I also switched to laundry because I forgot that it was laundry day. Now it says 2 duplicants incapacitated. That's due to power. So let's get somebody to make 2 more of these. And then hopefully that's enough to get them started. I don't know. But we also get a choice of another person. Ooh, they get the grilling booster. Let's take another. Oh, that is how they work. Nice. Looks like they also take another. Okay. Anyway, we have this, which takes 20 power banks. We also need an electrical engineering thing, which this creates. Electrical engineering schematics skill. I think it's just a willow thing. Okay, so we do in fact need a dupe for a majority of this stuff. Sorry, chat, I'm checking something. So if I skill scrub Willow, since we have Stila, who's able to cook, and they have a skill point, let's put them into improved gears. Get you with the grill booster. We'll skill scrub Willow and then put her into electrical engineering when she's ready to have that second skill point. Do I have the skill scrubber available? I do, so let's put that right there. Get rid of all of that, start the next research. Which is going to be... I guess this, so we can clean up the base. Yeah, that seems good, and then we can get down into liquids and stuff afterwards. They're doing their microchip creation thing. We should probably get the thing for airflow tiles too. So its bionic power is very low. I have 4. Let's make 12. I should probably be making them down here. Hold on. This is going to be our new Bionic Dupe area. Let's cancel that and deconstruct this. This will be our science room down here. It'll be for the Bionic Dupes. We could also start making a critter ranch. Why is that green and this is more yellow? Our gases are pretty low too. Let's get someone just to make this look better. We got that science done. We'll assign Willow to the skill scrubber when it's ready. Now thinking about where we're going to place all of our debris. Kind of want to place it right here. But the soldering station's so large, we can't really fit it in right there right now. I could place it right here. I don't know, but what I do know is that I want to get the airflow tiles, so let's go down to gases. And try to think of anything we'd want aside from that. We'll just go to airflow tiles. It looks like we need to make another 2 on top of this in order for us to have 12 extra power banks. Willow is now ready for their skill points. That's researched. So we can get them into almost electrical engineering once they get their second skill point. Trying to think of what we're going to do next. This is a 4-block wide building. It can't go here unless I move this over 1. I could put it down here. That might actually be a better option. Alright, they have airflow tiles now. That's not what I meant to do. No, don't make that. I meant to get this so I can go like that, and like this, and like that. I don't know where the middle of that would be. That will allow me to go like this, and also take that out just to have more room. We have a little bit more oxalate down here, so let's get that dug out. Even more on this side. Don't know what this is. Let's go through and look at our geysers. We have a saltwater geyser over here. That's good to keep. And then we have this one here, which is a cobalt volcano, also something nice to keep. Do we see any more besides hydrogen right there? We got the steam warming up the place up there. I don't think we have anywhere else. That should give us more oxygen for them to breathe in. We could continue to work over here to get more food. I'm not sure if I want to, though. Let's do our second of 3 predictions now. We have 0 points in any of them, so I'm just going to delete that one. We'll see what we get. We got a pair of clothing. This would be a top. A PhD Valor jacket. Just looks like some normal suit. Let's put that right there. I'm gonna do our usual 3 block width area now, because we're gonna delete this. And we're gonna fix up our power system here. That, this here, this here, this here. That's straight down and up. All standard. Start making the base look a little bit better. And then I suppose our next research stuff. We'll go into plumbed stuff. We have a chance of getting another Bionic Dupe, but we didn't get one, so we'll grab the sand. And I actually wanted this over one more. We're gonna have to make a critter ranching area and a area for them to degunk themselves. So let's start working on making this a critter ranching area. And I also want to make this into a laboratory. So move everything over one and put in doors. And this has to go 100 tiles. They're doing their Bionic Dupe thing again. I'm probably going to rearrange this again. there's our Bionic Dupes again. Made a mess. Right, because the bathroom's not ready yet. Station supercomputer over here. Should probably be moving food more of a priority than doing anything else. We have these tiles, so we'll put them there. Okay, so this should allow them to get down here. If I dig that one tile, I should be able to submit bioscan. And queue up all of this. Most of that water should flow into here. So this level will lower. I want to deconstruct all of that stuff. Get the snazzy suit on Willow. And at least relocate the data bank somewhere else. Oh, we have a hatch! We can do hatch ranches too. That's a lot of pips down here. We definitely need to get into making a small amount of oxygen. So we should have a barrack, laboratory, and then this no industrial machinery. So this wants to be just science. No power. How big can it be, the laboratory? 32 tiles. Bionic Dupe, probably because of power. I'm not really paying attention to this. Laboratory is 32 tiles. That would be here if I move this over to station. If I put them next to each other, was the smallest is 32? Yes. We could put the telephone in here. Stella is suffocating. We might lose Stella because I wasn't paying attention to power. Nope, we're not losing her. Alright, that's good. So this should be a laboratory now, which gives us a bonus in morale. I'm gonna wait for him to finish digging, sweeping up all this stuff. To see what else needs to still be cleaned. We do have a skill point somewhere. Oh, it's Will. Awesome. Electrical there. We're starting to get one booster spot and athletics. Hmm. We're going to improve gears 2. Gives us an extra slot. Willow's electrical engineering now. So Willow can now make the gear thing. And any of the other stuff that we were trying to make here. So we could do the mechatronics engineering booster. Could do the electrical engineering booster as well. What do we need for the eco power bank? Abyssalite, really? That's different. They are complaining about the gears now. Let's continue to research. We need to get into the electrolyzer at least. It looks like they're only picking up 100 kilograms at a time. Except for Willow, who's picked up. Oh, that's Stila. Stila's picking up 200 at a time. Alright, there's only about 200 left. Let's see what we get in the pod. No extra Bionic Dupe. Now that we picked up all the stuff I told them to sweep, they should be moving around the relocate commands. And building a little bit, it seems. We have the electrolyzer. I'll let them do random skills, or random commands for right now. They should be only able to do that one more tile, and then they should be moving stuff. The 2 relocate commands for the databanks. I do have quite a bit of water. We even have this going. So we could box this in and put... I don't know. The steam comes out at 110. As it gets this room warmed up, it will turn back into water as quickly. That's why people usually tame them, I suppose. They're doing their little dream thing for microchips. Toilet's not available, it's full of gunk. Don't care about granite. Data banks on the other, or power banks on the other hand. We need the abyssalite from over here. We'll do this. They're still trying to build that. Oh, they can build both of those houses. I forgot there was a ladder there. Can we relocate these, please, so I can close off the floor? I'm cool with them using it for the polluted oxygen, but at the same time, I want to get this closed. What I'm trying to do is make a way for us to open this up and have the polluted oxygen leave the area. Which I think I can do now, after I... I'll have to dig those out. Cancel that for a second. Can you mop this up first? Then dig that out? There we go. Okay, that allows us to go like this. Ah, I forgot this is the pit branching room. Started making the floor tiles, not realizing what room this was. Alright, so the first 3 tiles can be that. After that, it's no, no, and no. So that's 1 tray, drop off, grooming station. So this actually didn't even have the thing to place it in. We didn't even have a natural tile there, so that's fine. After we put in natural tile, we'll have the we'll be able to put in all the trees. And get rid of all of that. I do need 3 tree seeds, so that's second one. The third one, as far as I know. We do have a bislight, so we can make some eco power banks. Puts bislight into eco power bank lasts 60 seconds. That's not too forever. Let's start with 4. Let's do the thing again up here. We are very struggling on oxygen. I'm gonna have to just put in a bare bones electrolyzer over here. Hey, what are they all doing? Are they all just looking for air pockets? It looks like that's what we're doing. I kind of need them to do this more. That's going to give us more oxygen to breathe from. Okay, next day they should be able to focus more. The toilet is ready for Willow to use. They built that ladder, so eventually this oxalite should give out, and then we get to that oxalite. Now, if we could finish this off. I need somebody to do this now. Alright, someone should be able to come over for another power bank. Let's see what we get in here. Food for 1 dupe. I'll take it. Bionic Dupe incapacitated because of power. We're about to have oxygen going. Of course, Willow goes to sleep when we need her to make a power bank. So Wubby's gonna suffocate. Should probably go like this to let the hydrogen that's gonna come from the electrolyzer escape up there. Okay, somebody give Wubby that power bank. Don't eat yourself. You are stupid. Everything is going wrong. And of course, Willow made a mess because nobody is focusing on cleaning out the gunk out of the toilet. Now there's another person with a power critical battery power. Oh. We now have oxygen being made with the cost of having hydrogen throughout the base. We have one eco power bank. We have one charged power bank now. Or we will. Stop eating them, give it to Wubby. Why are we not letting him get one? How long does this take to get fully powered? What it looks like, we need an extra person running. Turn that off and then maybe we can get someone actually making the power bank. Ran out of oxygen over here already. Oh, is that the battery charge right there? That's a cool resistor up top. And I said, oh, that is the charge of the battery. Okay, so we can see how close we're getting to that. Well, we finally got a data bank, not a data bank, a battery. Now I need to see arbor seeds. Because I need 3 seeds in here. I can also do critter drop-offs. We finally have a couple power banks. Let's start with those pips. There's another one up here. And grab that as well, and this one. It looked like they picked up someone and then just dropped them. Relocate that shine book to up here just so we can get that. And I think we have to work from the left to the right in order for them to actually place all the seeds correctly. Let me just pipe this a little bit. We have another person running, so we'll turn this back on. We are getting a little bit of a breathability coverage here. Do have, of course, a ton of carbon dioxide. Alright, they moved everything out of there, so let's grab metal door, put that there. We still need this done too. Oh, there's the pip in the wall. Let's see what we get from the regular pod. Ice, rubber boots. Let's like the ice. Free water. Did we get the pip out of there? We didn't get the pip out of there. Unreachable. Don't know how they're unreachable, but okay. We actually want eco power banks, so I can see how many extras we have. Did somebody get this pip? Or did they deconstruct that? Are we doing a power bank issue again? Do I have to do another 12 regular power banks? We're definitely gonna have to redo stuff in here. Gina, I just noticed your emotes. What was that for? Was that for the Woobat? I was so focused on trying to get them to do stuff that I didn't notice your message till just now. Panic? Oh. For when everyone was dying. If we can get here. We should be able to deconstruct all of them. We don't need to relocate that pip anymore. Yeah, somebody's at critical power level, but we're trying to make another power bank. Power circuits video. Don't think I need to see that. Colony requires a food source. We have food. I don't know what you're talking about. Overload damage, really? 240, 360. Yeah, it would be. Okay, we're gonna need a bridge somewhere, so let's just go like this. I could switch these two buildings around and put a bridge somewhere in here or something. That branch is almost done. Can I actually queue up the next tile there? Deconstruct that tile. There's 7 out of 8 possible critters that can be in there. Because we did not pick up this one. Dang it. There we go. How much more ice is still there? Just one more trip. And there's one there. Research. We haven't done this in a while. Water sieve. And I think that's all we're going to need for this stream, at least. We got the tiles in. It doesn't look like there's a pip or any critter inside there. We still have 2 seeds, so none of them picked up the seed to move into that spot. We can do that. We're gonna want the door here with a tile above it. We're also gonna need a little bit of water in order to keep the pips from leaving. We have a couple extra metal power banks. They finished creating the 4 rechargeable power banks, but we did not make any extras right now. So does each person need like 3 power banks or something? How do I know? I saw a thing where it said how much they had in terms of power. Equipment maybe is power bank? Well, Dotterly just picked up one. Where would it say that Dotterly has an eco power bank? Oh, right here. They can have 4. I only made 4, so we want like another 12. Let's keep doing it 4 at a time. We have the lubrication station. We can use gear oil. Which looks like phyto oil or crude oil in order to lubricate people. Let's look at gunk again. That's not what I want to do. This is used for gear bomb. Okay. That's unfortunate. Sludge press, gas filter, gas liquid filter. We're definitely going to need that for the bathroom until we have the gunk extraction area. Did they move one of the seeds? They did not. Am I going the wrong way? Was I supposed to do the right side to the left? I'm always forgetting where the pedestal is. We also need to research the pedestal. Yes. Okay. Right. I am going to re-sweep the top floor again. We have 5 duplicants. I see 4. Oh, there's the 5th one. I'm trying to think about the hatch. We're going to stone hatch. We eat metal. Smooth hatch turns metal into 3/4 refined metal. So it does eat 1/4 of the metal you give them. But you don't lose all the water. Or all the metal, I mean. Let's get to researching the pedestal. We have the water assist, so we can technically turn this into a bathroom. So we get in the regular pod. We'll take the hexagon fruit for extra food. Let's also start our third and final prediction of today's stream. So in the top left corner, is it going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide starting now. And we will open that up in about 15 minutes, half hour. Right before we end our stream. So I want a pedestal right there for a second. I want those up there. What do we need to turn this in? We just need plastic. Okay. That's not too bad for us to figure out. How's our breathability? Our breathability is getting better. Hydrogen gas, not so much. What happened to your map? I don't know what's going on with these pips and why they're not planting the seeds. If I tell our dupes to uproot that seed. We have an extra eco power bank that I'm guessing someone's going to come over and scoop up when they are ready for it. It does look like they're choosing the metal power banks first, which is great. But I am curious to see what happens when the eco power bank becomes empty. Do they immediately start recharging it? Now I'm getting tired of this made of mess stuff. Hopefully now they'll take the seed and move it somewhere. They chose the same spot. Let's do the ladder trick again. I want that to have some water. Actually, wait. We could use the gunk instead. That'll give us a quick use for gunk. And it'll be more personalized for this colony. We are about to be out of water, though. That's probably all the gunk we're gonna need over here. Can I have somebody empty it? Guys? The gunk's going a little further than I thought it would. Alright, if I deconstruct this, no pips should escape. That gunk should fall down and create a little lip there. Oh, no, they can still get out. But now they can't? Have them moving the critters around. There's only 7, so we have a missing pip somewhere. No idea. They didn't place the seed yet. I don't think we need any more research. Power critical level. Well, that's not what I want. Who is power critical? You have an empty eco power bank. Why are you not, like, switching it out for something? You could at least drop it somewhere so we could charge it. Then they have an extra power bank. Do they wait until they can switch it out for a new one? I think that's what I just saw. I want to get this all emptied out. It seems like they're unable to put the seed on the dirt. They definitely can dig on dirt. I don't know why they haven't. We need more abyssalite. This seems like a weird thing to just go looking for. Oh, here's a pip egg. Can I have someone move that, please? We're definitely going to redo this section for a better looking area. I'm thinking about creating this into a water storage for right now and just dropping this water down there. Let's look at skills right before the next person comes in. Gears 2, Gears 2. You, I have no idea what I'm doing with you. Gears 2, that at least gives us an extra slot. Ooh, this allows the soldering station use. Okay, we'll let you do the soldering station then. And for the most part, we're ready to allow all this water out. And then we'll work towards getting this more combined. Who do we have in the regular pod? Coal of fertilizer, we'll take coal. This area is getting cleaned up more. That is a pipsqueak. It needs to be wrangled. There are now 9 critters in here. This seems like a lot of hydrogen, but it's really not. There's not much oxygen to push it up. I'm not sure how to get them back on the same schedule. You have 3 metal power banks. Where's there metal ore here? Oh no, that's just polluted water and water being in the same tile. Welcome in, redneck. Unfortunately, we are close to the end of the stream. I hope you're doing well. We are playing the Bionic Dupes DLC for the first time now, and we are getting very close to the end of this chapter of space travel. We're almost done with Action Not Included and all of our side stories. We only have 3 games to play left. 2 of them are for the story in the 4th chapter or story. Okay, that looks like a nymph egg. Shinebug egg. I can't click on it for some reason. Getting back on some sleep, that 22-hour was... Oh yeah, how did your co-stream go? I noticed it the other day, but I didn't have time to stop in and say hello. I forget what game you were playing. I feel like it was actually not included, but I'm not sure. Oh, just slipped. Okay, I'm gonna keep queuing up 4 at a time. I know they can hold 4. So this is really our 3rd set for all of them. If they all only took 1 at a time, they would all have 2 rechargeable power banks. It was fun. We did Ani with the multiplayer mod. That's what I had a feeling you were doing with the multiplayer mod. You guys had one planet with bionics and the other planet with regular dupes. That sounds fun. I started this with 3 bionic dupes only, and then didn't realize that they make microchips, and thought that I soft-locked myself in research, and then restarted having 1 regular dupe. So now we have 5 dupes, 4 of which are bionic dupes, and we have 1 person that I have to feed. And at this point, I'm just moving liquids around, trying to make a centralized water area. We have a saltwater geyser here. We're going to be tapping into that in the next stream and trying to make a closed loop spawn. So the water's created and immediately goes into the spawn. Okay, that should be 1 more power. That's 2 charged power banks. How come nobody's coming to take them? You have an empty slot. That's Willow. She's... Multiplayer mod still needs some work, but it was much better than we did. Oh, nice. That wasn't the first time you guys did it together. They still didn't place the seed on here. Why are they not able to place the seed there? This is dirt. They can place a seed on dirt. No, no, I still want that on 20 so I can continue moving pips. They just won't make any new eggs until there's less than 8. Too many plants underneath. I didn't even think of that. Thank you. That would make sense because I kept placing it over here first. And with the way I'm doing, I am going the right direction. You start on the right side and go to the left. Or am I thinking it wrong? I know it's not a square centered on the plant. Right to left, thank you. That's what we originally started doing, and I forgot to look underneath here. So now the pip should be able to take the seeds. Top to bottom, I know. And we were looking into hatches, because there's only one dupe. I'm probably not going to need a lot of food. If anything, we'll probably just live off of the pip ranch, making barbecue. There we go, they finally planted the seed. I'll deconstruct that ladder and have them place in the next seed. We're in the cleaning up the base portion. So that's not a lot of water. Seeing how we burned through the first portion of this amount of water almost. Might want some hatches for rad pills since bionics have less issues with that not peeing as often. Explain to me how hatches give rad pills. They don't make dirt. That's the pips. The pips make dirt. Oh, they need coal! Oh. What's the conversion of sage hatches? Oh wait, no, sage hatches, do they eat dirt or do they make... No, they all make coal. We'll know the conversion between pips and sage hatches. Yeah, they all make coal. Only sage hatches can eat dirt. But all the way at the top, they eat so many different things. 140 a cycle. Seven pips to feed one hatch. So I would need 7 pip ranches for 1 sage hatch ranch. Hey, look, a flock spawned. We don't have anything to feed them, so we're not going to do that. I mean... I think it'd be funny to do that. Or 1 sage in the ranch just for the pills. That's fair. But I think I might use it for power as well. I think it'd be pretty funny if we just have like this thrown together base over here, and then it's just 7 pip ranches with 1 hatch ranch at the top. This geyser being at the center of our ladder would be a problem. We do have a couple tiles to work with right here. We have about like 6 to 7 tiles. I think it actually is 6. No, it is 7 tiles before we hit this neutronium for the saltwater geyser. So we can move this over enough to avoid this one, which I think is a power-related geyser. I forget what it is. We looked at it. I know it's something I like because I put it on. Oh, it's cobalt. It's a cobalt volcano. We could move the ladder over. That would be 3 of the 6 tiles. Every geyser volcano is power related if you're willing to do it. Well, our saltwater geyser is going to be our water source because we're running low on water. We only had 3 water sources or water puddles. This is ethanol. We have cool steam vent, but I'm trying to make it get stifled because it makes hot water. And once it's stifled, I'm going to come up here and block it in, and then we'll use that water. That's all stuff in the future. We're letting the polluted water off gas just for that simple extra water. I think all I'm doing right now is planning for the future. We're not really doing anything. Let's try and figure out. I don't think there's any debris. Critical power level, we need more metal banks. Who is critical power, by the way? They have 1 rechargeable power bank. Wubby also has 1 rechargeable power bank. Willow is the only one that's not a bionic dupe. 1 power bank there. How many is in this? Is there more than 1? It says only 1. This says it could take 20, right? Are there 3 people here? Where's our other bionic dupe? We have 4. Am I blind? There. They have 2. Where are all of the... power banks? Are they all in here and it only says it's charging 1 at a time or something? Is that what's going on? How do I see how many's in it? Usually it's down here in contents, but I doubt that's actually only 1 power bank. There are 3 right here, and there's 1 right there. I think this is not gonna work with just 1. I definitely have to do more research to see how many power banks or how many charging things we're gonna need. I didn't see them all on the floor. One per 2 bionics. So right now, if I were to add a second one, we would have enough. But power-wise, that would take all of our power. Because each one of these takes 400 watts, which is, you know, one bionic dupe running. Alright, now I'm confused on why they're not doing this one. Yeah, there's no plants nearby. Is it just they're not choosing to plant it yet? Or are they unable to get the seed through a ladder for some stupid reason? I'm gonna move it just in case, even if it doesn't matter. I know there's a huge pink cloud. We're gonna be using that in the next stream when we actually make a usable spawn. Right now it's just venting. We do have this as well. Oh, we also have Drecos right next door. Awesome, we can get some plastic. We really don't have to go anywhere for all the stuff that I would use for the entire stream, or for the entire game playthrough. That's the word. Alright, I have a lot of plans for the next stream. We're gonna call it here after I tell them to mop that 1 packet of water. So let's take a screenshot. And we're going to save the game. We're going to do save and quit. And we're going to go into our raid out scene to see who we're going to raid out to. Welcome back. We forgot to do the prediction. We have 2,000 points in tops and 30 points in wallpaper. So let's open the blueprint, and then we're going to go back to raiding out, where we're going to raid into someone that we've never seen before. So let's see what we get. A pair of gloves, so whoever put 2,000 points in the tops, you're getting an extra 30 points back. And after Gina was trying to get points by reminding us. Alright. So now we're actually going to go into the raid out scene and raid out to this new person. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 10 AM to 2 PM EST.